If you're tired of wasting your ingredients on bad vegan cookies, then you've come to the right place. I've been making vegan cookies for over 25 years and with lots of different egg replacers. And today I'm going to find out definitively which egg replacer works the best.
The egg replacers we are using today are flaxseed, chia seed, applesauce, cornstarch, Bob's red mill, yogurt, banana, silken tofu, chickpea flour, pumpkin, and aquafaba.
To make this easier, I put some chapters in the description box below so you can skip around the video to look at the egg replacer that's most important to you. I started with the Nestle Total House cookie recipe because it's the most common and widely used cookie recipe of all time. For this first round of experiment,
I mixed up the dry ingredients for 11 batches of cookies. I'm not going to use the chocolate chips in this round because plant-based chocolate chips are expensive and I can save those for the cookies I know are going to come out great.
Then I started with the wet ingredients. I have plant butter. I'm going to use Country Crock plant butter for these cookies. I do like to use a stick butter for cookies because I think it works better than tub butter. Unless you want a real cakey cookie, then the tub butter is fine because there's less fat in those. I add brown sugar. I also add some white sugar. Now it's time to start with the egg replacers. An egg equals about a quarter cup. So we'll need about a quarter cup of egg replacer for each egg that we're trying to replace in the recipe.
The first one we're going to use is the flax egg. This is the most common, the one you read about on the internet. You will just take 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed and mix it with 3 tablespoons of warm water and set it aside for about 10 minutes to thicken up. This makes a flax egg. You can just mix that into your wet ingredients like you would an egg and then add your dry ingredients and you'll get a really nice cookie dough. The next egg replacer method we're going to try is the lazy method that I use a lot, where I just add the flaxseed and the water to the batter instead of making a flax egg. This saves the time of waiting 10 minutes. It also saves a dirty dish. I just wanted to see if this actually works as well as the original flax egg. Next up is the chia seed. It works almost identically to the flax seeds, and that is our chia seed dough. Here is the applesauce. I am not going to bother making a cookie with applesauce today because I've done it in the past. I do not like applesauce as an egg replacer. We've moved on to the cornstarch. The cornstarch you mix together with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 3 tablespoons of water, and it makes a nice creamy dough. And next up is the Bob's red mill. It's a store-bought egg replacer, and you mix that together with water as well according to the package instructions, and then you blend it in like you would an egg. Now, it gives you a bit of a dry dough. This is drier than most of the other doughs I've seen, but it does hold together, so it should make a decent cookie. Let's give it a try. Now we're on to the plant yogurt. Let's add 1/4 cup of plant yogurt per egg, and we will mix that in, and this gives us a super dry and crumbly dough. Banana is next on our list, but I am not going to bother making a cookie with banana because you do not want banana chocolate chip cookies. And every cookie you make with banana gives you banana flavor. This is blended silken tofu. It used to be one of my favorites. I used it all the time, but I do not like having to get a blender dirty, so let's see if one of these egg replacers works better than the silken tofu. Here is pumpkin. It is a surprising egg replacer, but I am curious to see how it works. We just use a 1/4 cup per egg. This is the Aquafaba. It is the juice from a can of chickpeas. And again, you're just using a 1/4 cup of this juice per egg. A lot of my dough turned out kind of crumbly. I'm hoping that they turn into decent cookies. Here are all of my cookies. These cookies look really good. I'm looking forward to tasting them all.
I've been baking cookies all day long, and as you can see, something has gone terribly wrong.
All my cookies came out flat, and that is not the fault of the egg replacer. It's because my plant butter got too soft, and it was too melty. I should have put them in the fridge a little bit before I put them into the oven. So in our next round of tests, I will show you what they look like with colder plant butter, so we can try to duplicate our original recipe.
I'm going to judge each of these egg replacers on 3 different points. 1 on taste, because that's the most important. But I also want to judge on how easy the egg replacer is to use at home in your kitchen, and also how easy it is to find at the local grocery store. I'm going to make another 2 batches of cookies with the best egg replacers and compare them to a traditional Nestle Total House cookie, so you'll know which egg replacer to use in your cookie recipes. I had my husband go through and taste all the cookies first, because he has the most asserting taste buds in the family, and I wanted him to mark off the ones that he just didn't think were good. Number 1 was the flax egg. This is the one where we mixed the flax seed with water and made a flax egg. Let it sit and made a flax egg. Now this one came out nicely. This is the one we made without mixing the flax and water together. So both cookies came out very nicely. Both cookies came out looking okay and tasting great. They hold together, they're not falling apart. But the flax egg, in my mind, is a little less easy to use because you have to mix it and let it sit for a while. Whereas with the non-mixing together, you just throw the flax seed and the water into the wet ingredients. It's so much easier. So I'm going to give the flax seed that I didn't mix up, I'm going to make the flax seed on its own. I'm going to give that a 10. And the flax egg that I had to mix separately, I'm going to give that an 8. This is the chia seed cookie. It looks good. It's still, again, flat. My husband and I both like the taste of this one, but the problem with this one is the little black dots. I don't like those in my cookies. I think that if you're giving them to people who aren't used to using chia seed eggs or your kids or something like that, they might be opposed to having these little black dots in the cookies. They won't be as pretty. And I'm going to give this one a 6 because I still have to get another dish dirty to mix with a flax egg, and I don't like the little spots. Otherwise, it tasted great. The applesauce gets a 0. I don't like it at all. I would never use it as an egg replacer. I do sometimes, however, use applesauce as an oil replacement or as a partial oil replacement in cakes and things like that. The cornstarch cookie is not as pretty on top, and it's a lot flatter than the other cookies. My husband marked it off because he said it had a taste. I'll give the cornstarch a 2 because it does work, it's just not the best. So the Bob's Red Mill cookie came out looking really good. It tastes great. My husband liked it. The only problem with the Bob's Red Mill is that you may not be able to find it in your local grocery store. I found it in mine, maybe, but if you live out in the country somewhere, you may not be able to find it. And you're going to have to mix it up in a bowl with some water again, so that's another dirty dish. And again, I vote against dirty dishes. So let's give the Bob's Red Mill a 7. It works great, it tastes great, but it might be hard to find. The yogurt cookie came out great. You don't have to mix it in a separate bowl. You just do a 1/4 cup of yogurt per egg. It looks good, it tastes good, but I don't normally have yogurt in my house. If you have plant yogurt in your house all the time, it will make a great egg replacement for you. I'm going to give it a 7 because it does work great, it tastes good, it's just not as easy to find sometimes, at least at my house. Okay, now we're on to the banana. It gets a 0. I do not like banana as egg replacer. So I don't want banana cookies. If I want a banana cookie, I'll put bananas in it. But other than that, no. Okay. Hey, this is Silken tofu. This has been one of my favorites in the past. It looks good and it tastes good. So if you have Silken tofu, you can use it. I don't like the fact that I have to get a blender dirty every time I want to make a cookie. And I usually have a half of a container left over sitting around in the fridge that goes to waste. So I'm giving the tofu a 5. The chickpea flour is one that my husband marked off as a no because of flavor. So it does work, but apparently it's not as good. So we're going to give it a 2. The pumpkin worked remarkably well as an egg replacer. My husband marked it off because he thought it would be hard just to have a partial can of pumpkin sitting around all the time, and he's right. But as far as flavor goes, it'll work. If you've got a can of pumpkin and you need an egg, it will work in your cookies. I gave the pumpkin a 7. And the last one is the Aquafaba, the bean juice, or the juice from the can of the chickpea. It came out very nice. It's nice and chewy. It tastes good. It was one of our favorites. I'm giving it a 10 because it's super easy to use and you end up not wasting the juice from your chickpeas. So I give the chickpea a 10. So here's how the chart came out. The not mixed flax and the Aquafaba were my favorites. So those are the 2 we're going to make again in our second round of testing. All the 8s and the 7s and the 6s I would use in a pinch. Most of them were marked down because of the inconvenience of the extra dish or not being able to find them. So now it's time to make 2 more batches of cookies. We're going to make one with the flaxseed that I didn't mix together, and we're going to make one with the Aquafaba. I'm also going to make one with an egg, just as comparison, so that I know which ones are coming out more like my original cookie recipe. So here are all of my cookies. This is the egg cookie, this is the flax cookie, and this is the Aquafaba. So as far as the Aquafaba cookie goes, as you can see, this one was the one with a very dry cookie dough, and I did not like the way that one came out. So while it was cooking, I went ahead and did another experiment. I used that leftover cookie dough that I had, and I added some more Aquafaba to it to get a nicer consistency. It wasn't as soft as these other cookie doughs that we made, but it was softer. I'll show you a video of that. And this was the cold butter, and this was the in the freezer for about 10 minutes butter. And you can see the difference in the cookie. I really think this one came out looking the best. If I were going for looks, I would definitely use the Aquafaba, and I would definitely stick it in the freezer for about 10 minutes before I baked it. So let's give these a test. We're going to start with the egg. I do have a bit of an egg phobia, but I'm going to give this one a try just so I can see what the difference is. It tastes like a really good chocolate chip cookie. We have the flax. It's a little thin still, but it came out to be a nice cookie. It's better looking than the flat cookies we had yesterday. It's a good cookie. Tastes almost identical to the egg cookie. It does look a little bit different, but I don't think unless you're comparing them side by side it's going to look the same. And then we have the Aquafaba cookie. It's a very nice textured cookie. It tastes fine, that dry dough, but I'm going to see how this came out when I added a little bit more Aquafaba to make it a little less of a dry dough. It's a little crispier. This one cooked a little bit longer, I think, than it should have. So it's a little crispier, but I like a crispy cookie. That's really good. Now this is the prettiest one. This is one that I had stuck in the freezer for about 10 minutes before I baked it. The texture's nice, it's soft, a little crunchy. This is the perfect cookie. In conclusion of this great cookie experiment, my favorite was the Aquafaba with a little extra Aquafaba, and I want that cookie in the freezer for about 10 minutes before I put it in the oven. It does make a huge difference. I always ask the question myself, and I'm sure you have too, does it really make a difference if you stick it in the fridge or the freezer for a few minutes before you bake it? And the answer has been proven to be yes. If you're looking for a pretty cookie, you need to stick this dough in the freezer for about 10 minutes before you bake it. If you don't care what it looks like, then don't worry about it. It's going to come out tasting fantastic either way you go. The only way to know for sure whether this egg replacer is going to work in all of my cookie recipes is I'm going to have to try it on Grandma's Christmas cookies. So if you want to see me make Grandma's Christmas cookies, check out this video right here.